All right, so this week we are going to be debunking a whole bunch of cryptocurrency myths. And um, it's funny, I still hear a lot of these things in my daily conversations. And so I was like, okay, we're going to put some of these top ones together and go over them and debunk them. And so we'll use the chat if you're able to type in the chat. But as always, if it's Tuesday, it's got to be Tuesdays with Tonya. So happy to be here. I was just sharing with Lateria that I am on the tail end of this flu. And so every day that I wake up without coughing myself to death is a beautiful day. And this is one of those days we just got the little runny nose. So bear with me. And we're going to start everything off with our mantra that wealth is my birthright. So go ahead and write it in the chat, type it in the chat. If you're here live, if you're joining later, watching the replay, go ahead and put it in the comments. Wealth is my birthright. We are attracting the wealth that's already been put out there and designed for each one of us. It's there, it's yours, and we're just attracting it. So, this knowledge is going to help take you to places that you may not have been able to go. Now you're just like forging through those hallways with ease. Wealth is a birthright. That's right, ladies. And so, we are going to go over these myths, and I'm going to make sure I can still see everything at the same time, including people trying to come in. It's going to be fun. Okay, here we go. I got it all set up. All right. So, myth number one. Now, be honest. Have you ever thought or said this to yourself or said this to someone else that crypto was only for tech people? Go ahead and put in the chat yes if you've ever thought that crypto is for tech people. And I'm going to put what this one is crypto for tech people. All right. And that is one I like to start with because for so many people that I come across, they all start with it just sounds confusing. I don't know where to start. And I like to help people feel very, very comfortable with cryptocurrency, help them feel comfortable with the concept of what it is, comfortable with being able to use it, and ultimately letting people know that if you can use Cash App, then you can use cryptocurrency, and they have made it just that simple. And when people try to overcomplicate it, usually it's for their own ego to make them feel like they know something that someone else may not know. Usually it's ego based. It should not be that complicated. And more importantly, the education that you're getting, the education that you are seeking is going to be crucial because we're in this state where we know we can't necessarily trust everything that's said in the media. We can't trust everything that our government is doing, that it's for our good or our behalf. And so, understanding the difference between what crypto was designed to do and what our government is going to use it for is going to be a central part of your growth. So, myth number two, let me put this in the chat so I can keep track when I am downloading this. All right. Let me type it over here, just a little hint for myself. Myth number two is that you need a lot of money to get started. Have you ever told yourself that you need a lot of money to get started? That is something that I hold to be another, like the number two reason why people say, okay, I'm going to start later. I'm going to do that later. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get to it. I just don't have a lot of money right now. It is an absolute myth that you need a lot of money to start. I know I talked to you about what my husband does full time, what I help him with is the people who are moving millions of dollars of crypto at a time and can't necessarily use a Coinbase or one of those types of exchanges. We help them, but it is not how most people will use cryptocurrency. And you absolutely do not need a lot of money. It's like saying, when you start your job, okay, they signed you up for your 401k. They're going to start pulling money out every pay, but you told them, hold on, hold on, hold on, wait. Don't take money out of my account until I've been here a year and I've made X amount of dollars for a year. That's when I want you to start saving money for my 401k. The same concept needs to apply for crypto. Start small, start now, just start, start, start. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $10, whatever it is, just starting. That dollar cost averaging from your cryptocurrency compounding and gaining returns over a longer period of time will make a bigger difference in your life and your wealth creation than just waiting at some point down the road to start with a larger number. Um, okay, so that was number two. Myth buster number three, and this is a good one because of Bitcoin and what Bitcoin has done. Myth number three is that it's too late. Type late if you've ever thought to yourself, I missed it or I'm too late. Oftentimes people will hear on the news the value of Bitcoin, what's happened with Bitcoin, oh, and think, oh, I missed it because they may know someone who got in when Bitcoin was really not as expensive. And not as expensive could have been they got in when it was 60,000 and then it went up to 120,000. Or they got in when it was $800 a coin, like I did, and then watched it rise to $120,000 a coin. Let me let you know, there are other cryptocurrencies. And I talked about this last week when I talked about and compared AOL was the beginning of us using everyday people using the internet when we started emailing each other. AOL um, was the very first user-friendly software for Web 2.0, which is the internet. The blockchain, which crypto is housed on, is just Web 3.0. It's the way that everything will flow in the future, moving from just a Web 2.0, the internet, over to Web 3.0, where it's more secure and people have more control over their data, their information, and their money. And so Web 3.0 is that point where we are right now, and we are still at the AOL disk part of Web 3.0. So you are absolutely not too late as far as the technology is concerned. You're absolutely not too late as far as Bitcoin is concerned. When I am educating people and talking to them about what a healthy portfolio looks like, it still includes Bitcoin even if it's at 90,000 a coin, because it's the grandfather of all coins, the protocols that it has in place, the sustainability, the fact that it will still, it's projected by expert analysts to still grow. I still have it as a major part of my portfolio. But there are other currencies that are small, that are mighty, that are changing. Imagine when AOL was popular and it was getting circulated, there was somebody in a garage thinking about the concept of Gmail. And there were some very intuitive people who said, I like the way this sounds. I'm going to go ahead and get me some of this Gmail stock. I'm going to go ahead and before it even gets to the New York Stock Exchange, I'm going to go ahead and invest in this company because I like what they're talking about. That is the same thing that's happening with these other cryptocurrencies that have use cases. I'm going to harp on this until I'm blue in the face. Use case, use case, use case. So finding cryptocurrencies that are going to do something positive to change the world are the way to go. Okay, so the next big myth. You're not too late. You're not too late. You're not too late. Excuse me. Hold on. The next one, and this one is funny. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my mama under the bus. My mama stay at the casino. Nisha, she stay up at Hollywood Casino. You gonna find her on that road, ripping and running that road to get up to the Hollywood Casino, which is 10 minutes from her house. But the thought of buying cryptocurrency still with her daughter being an educator for all this time still scares the bejesus out of her, probably because I scared the bejesus out of her. She still considers it as gambling. Meanwhile, she gonna throw all her extra money in the slot machines because of the probability that she's gonna win something. And all the free plus slot play they give her and the free hotels and the free airfare, all that stuff contributes to it too. But it's just mindset, right? So some people feel that cryptocurrency is gambling, and it's actually the opposite. If it's ever felt like gambling to you, go ahead and admit it. Go ahead and put gambling in the chat. It's okay. It has happened. It happens to the best of us. I swear, when I first got started, I felt that way too because I didn't understand the principles. Actually, if you went through my courses, you'll see that said no to cryptocurrency two different times. Um, and because it was presented to me the wrong way. And so it feeling like gambling is usually because of a lack of education. So what would make you feel more confident is learning about cryptocurrency, learning about the various coins. The education changes everything. Absolutely changes everything. Let me see. Let's see the chat. I see. Leave her alone. Oh gosh. Hold on, let me move this. I can't see the chat all the way. And Nisha said, leave her alone. Let her have fun. Yeah, I let her have fun. Go on up there and spend my inheritance. Um, the use cases. Okay, yes, I will attach the videos. I have a couple of videos, but I have one that I really love that goes over, I don't know if I went over 5 or 10 different questions that I find out about a cryptocurrency to find out their use case. A minimum of 5 of them you need to have. The full gamut is what I would recommend because it helps you really analyze a cryptocurrency and decide if this is one you want to have in your portfolio or not. So I will put that in the community, in the inner circle community today. I know I said I would before, but I will definitely do it today. Okay. Let my mama gamble. And the family's so divided. Last year, my father usually buys all of the grandkids the same gift, right? When they were younger, everyone would get swimming lessons or everyone would get XYZ. One year, we all got the same book. So everybody gets the same gift. He is like, I ain't gonna make this stressful for me. And last year, everybody got $50 in Bitcoin. So I was just like, go ahead. Grandpa trying to put y'all on. So it was just like those little legacy, those changes and shifts in mindset. The fact that he went and bought the Bitcoin, the fact that he tried his very best to make sure that when he transferred it, $50 actually landed in each account. Like I was so proud of him. All right. So myth number 5 is that regulation from the US government means that cryptocurrency is over. I talked about this a lot last week. The regulation can serve as a positive. However, while I was talking, Congress was throwing daggers at the banking system, or the banking system was throwing daggers at the cryptocurrency community. So the bankers don't want for your cryptocurrency to be able to sit in the equivalent of a CD in your bank. On Coinbase, that's the only place where I use it. Coinbase and some of the other more reputable exchanges will allow you to sit your cryptocurrency with them and earn interest on it. But it has to stay still like a CD for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, whatever that time frame is, and you're going to earn interest on it the same way your money would in a CD or a money market. Not so much a money market, but in a CD at a bank. Well, while the CDs at our banks are giving us 0.01%, having your money earn interest, your cryptocurrency earn interest, you can earn anywhere from 3% to 10%. And so that is one of the things that with the Senate's hearing, that's why I got pushed back, because they, at that point when that information was slid into the documents and hidden in there, and then the cryptocurrency exchanges read it and they said, we pull out, we're not supporting the bill. Then some of the senators and things, remember I said a lot of the people who are voting on this information don't even understand crypto, but they just felt very confident because the major cryptocurrency exchanges were saying, yes, yeah, yeah, they are like, yeah, Monisha, they're like, yeah, we don't want them earning money on their crypto, because then they won't put their money in the bank and leave it with us. And you understand that when you leave $100 with a bank, it allows them to go out and leverage it and act like it's $1,000. They can go invest in it. They can hedge that $100. They can go and give somebody a student loan. They can go give somebody a car payment. And those are coming back at what, 18% interest rates. They can go give a mortgage that over the life of the mortgage, they're going to earn like 100 and something percent on that mortgage. So they take that little $100 very serious that we leave with them, and they're going to give us 0.1%, right? And now the fact that people are in massive droves taking their money out of savings and money markets with banks and moving it over to places where they're earning anywhere from 3 to 10%. That is one of the slick things that the banks tried to slide in there to make sure they cut down on their competition. So on that side of it, shady, super shady. The regulations that they were trying to slide in and put in place would have impacted us greatly as consumers. On the other side of it, when there is certain certainty around who is regulating cryptocurrency, what they are or aren't allowed to do, regulating and confirming that crypto is not a security, so the SEC should not be in charge of regulating it. All of those things give people confidence, give large companies confidence, and it allows them to say, okay, we are going full-fledged into the cryptocurrency space. And when they invest in it, the value of the cryptocurrency that you have will increase as well. So being able to have some regulation can mean that the rules will become, the rules will make the cryptocurrency space safer and less scary and more stable. It will also prevent, oh gosh, it will also prevent a lot of the scams that are taking place right now. I learned that there is, through my contacts at the SEC, that there are a ton of different cryptocurrency ATMs being popping up all over the place that aren't really tied to exchanges. So just the fact that there's always someone somewhere out there trying to run a scam gives me some comfort that, okay, at least somebody's going to be able to crack down on those things. But I don't want them fooling with my money. I don't want them fooling with the DeFi. That's the exchanges that are not regulated by the US government. I don't want them fooling with those, because that is how we keep, that's the way crypto was supposed to be designed. It wasn't supposed to be governed by any government. And so when we have those kind of lines drawn in the sand, there's some certainty, you know how to move with move with certainty. I like it. It's like defining a relationship. Are we together or no? If we're not together, I get to do whatever whatever I want to do. But right now, I don't know where I'm at, right? So if we're not together, I need to know. And so right now, the certainty with the regulation is the equivalent of saying, are we together or no? And when that's all etched out and put in writing, then it allows everybody else to be able to say, okay, and here's what we're going to do in response to that. You say, I learned, chase, don't entertain it. Yes. I love it, Niche. All right. So those are some of the biggest myths that I wanted to address and make sure that you all have my sense of what my thoughts are around it. And hopefully you adopt them in these concepts as your stream of consciousness and your thoughts around crypto and surrounding crypto. And then next week, of course, we're going to get into another topic that again helps to frame your mindset and your concepts around cryptocurrency. But when it comes to education, I'm going to add that video when we get done here. Not going to do anything else. Matter of fact, I'm going to treat myself with a cookie after I do it. I'm going to add the video that helps you go through and understand how to evaluate a cryptocurrency. I'm going to add it into the um, inner circle community. And then next week, we'll dive some more into how you can set up your mindset to make sure you are winning. But most importantly, make sure you are dollar cost averaging, getting you a little bit of crypto at a time, just making sure that you're building that portfolio and learning, learning, learning as much as you can. The education is where all the wealth and the power is. So, with that, Toodles, ladies. Happy Tuesday and enjoy the rest of your evening. Look forward to that video link coming in the inner circle momentarily. Bye bye.
Have a good evening.
Good evening.